Welcome to MedSchool CoPilot. So once you've set up your account, you're going to want to set up your profile. And in that case, it means creating some good context for the AI system to use as a basis to help you draft personalized secondary essays for each school. So the best source of data through our test has been the primary application, and we allow you to import that a couple different ways. The first way is through manual entry. You'll see that you can simply copy and paste your personal statement as well as your experiences, which you can add individually here. We also have an expedited way for you to do this, which will create a draft for you guys to edit directly. And if you click the Import AMCAS application option on the left side, you'll see that you can simply upload that primary application. I'm using an example here that I found on UC Boulder and Schuh School of Medicine's website from a few years ago. It's an anonymized version of a primary application, and our system extracts all that information from the personal statement, experiences, academic information, and more. This could take a minute or so. All of your data is stored privately and securely through our systems. We have enterprise level security, and all of the parts of our software stack are SOC 2 certified, which means that they have the highest level of enterprise level security. So once this finishes processing, you're going to want to go and check out what it has pulled through and make sure that it's accurate. You're going to want to take a minute or two and just review that information. It'll pop you right into the profile section where you can go ahead and edit that. The first thing to look at is your personal statement. Let's make sure that it has the complete version. And we'll see here that it does. There might be paragraph breaks that have been taken out, and occasionally there will also be some spacing issues. Sometimes words are even chunked together. That's okay. AI models have the ability to read those anyway, so don't worry about that. Just make sure it's all here and it's accurate and matches that of your AMCAS. You can quick check of your work and activities. You're going to want to see here, for example, that all of these match your primary. You'll see that we've also pulled in the most meaningful, the additional components of those experiences, get up to 3 of them that are the ones that you want to highlight through that extra text. So you can add some more context here if you want. You can select the type, some of this other information. But the most important thing is that these are accurate. And if there's any formatting issues, for example, again, don't worry about the fact that these words are chunked together. But if there's things missing entirely, you're going to want to add that in. You can do the same thing for the impactful experiences, which is a section of the biographical component, the very beginning of the MCAS application. If you don't have any, you can add one here. And even if you do have one, I recommend adding in additional context here. This could be a CV. This could be other essays or writing samples that might be related to your application process and can be used as additional context by the AI assistant. So now the other impactful experiences section of the MCAS itself. It'll help generate better responses that sound like you and speak to your real experiences more. What's the next step here? How do we actually generate some essays? Well, if you click on, I'll do it again, this Get Started button here, it'll guide you right there. You'll see that it's going to tell you exactly where to go in the Writing Center. And if I click the blue button to go over there directly, it'll take me on the left-hand side nav bar over to it. You'll see that you start with 3 schools right now that have been selected from any that you might have mentioned and put on your list on the primary application. You can click Manage Schools and add more if you'd like. And you'll see that there's also some high priority, low priority, medium priority that have been added, as well as deadlines. We can change all of this, right? We essentially pull it in as a first draft again for you to edit and add to. So if we want, we can remove some of the schools. If we'd like to, we can add some. and select the priority level here. And it's going to also allow us to start generating essays right off the bat from this portal as well. So if you've received a secondary application invitation, check the deadline or suggested deadline that is mentioned in the communication from the school. It could be in an email, right, where they give you that login portal information. It could be within the portal itself for each individual school. But what you don't want to put here for the deadline is something in October or December. Official deadlines are way too late. You're going to want to really pay close attention to the deadlines that are suggested because, again, the sooner you get this in, the better chance you have of getting an interview spot because they typically are first come, first serve. So you can go ahead and press the try with one essay button. You can generate any number of essays by batch mode as well here. We're going to be changing this up so that 2 and further up, but you can generate up to 20 at once for school if you'd like, or you can go one by one. I'm going to use here 2 at once and set up these essays for Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. So you'll see that we have the essay prompt here at the top. I'm going to put in, why do you want to go to Johns Hopkins School of Medicine? And I can add some personalized details here too. This is one of the secrets. The second box here is where you're going to be coaching the AI to pull from certain areas of your primary application materials or supplement it with others or make a combination of the two. So you can put in bullet points here. You can put in keyword lists. You can put in entire paragraphs that you'd like it to incorporate. And so this is one of the things that's going to generate better first drafts, right? You're going to also be able to choose the character or word limit as well. So I'm going to put in 300 words. And this one is going to be the Why Our School category. This will help you keep them all organized as well after they're generated. So let's choose another category for this one. How about adversity essay? This is a classic, right? So please tell us about a time when you faced significant adversity, if I can spell it. And then for this one, we can say during COVID, my volunteering experience, or whatever. I'm going to put in a different word count limit for this one just to test it out here and press complete. And it's going to generate these essays one by one here. And again, you could have it generate first drafts of 20 at a time if you'd like. We'll also go into that editing experience, and you can edit manually or with AI. The key here is to make these essays yours, right? And to personalize them even further, right? And this is really just a way to brainstorm approaches, right? To avoid that real painful blank slate syndrome that a lot of us writers run into, and start with something at least to give you some ideas. You'll see here that we have now, under our Johns Hopkins School of Medicine school view, these essays that have been generated. So I can simply click on the essay and look and see what it looks like. So I can do a quick view and see also how many characters and words it netted out as. And you'll see here that this did generate a draft here. It does match the personal statement and other materials here. This was an adversity essay, and it looks like it did focus on the pandemic and the COVID response of this particular anonymous student. We can also edit both manually. No surprises here. Here are words. You can save that. Or we can edit with AI. You'll see here, we're able to highlight entire sections or just individual words here. On the left-hand side is where we'll be able to add our personal notes to help it correct itself. So for example, I want to start the first paragraph with an action verb. But you can see that you'll be able to put multiple actions here. Let's first submit this first one. Then I'm going to highlight and move on to the second one here before I send these revisions through to the AI to help us edit. Thirst for knowledge. And we'll send these revisions along. We use a different AI model for the revisions so that it helps better correct and fill in the gaps from the first version in order to provide a little bit of a different flavor, you could say, or feeling to the quality of those essays. But again, you're going to have to individually use your best judgment here and use your own writing. This is just intended to be a starting point. You'll see that you'll be able to compare the new and old versions at a glance here. And it did change things up a little bit. It didn't do exactly what I was looking for. So we'd love your feedback on how this is working for you. But we do have a number of real students who've used this to land interviews and get into med schools last year. We also have some alpha testers currently using this for their secondary application process. I'll also show you guys how you can track and manage your secondary applications here. You'll see that in the command center, in the upper left hand corner of the nav bar on the left hand side, you'll be able to see at a glance your priority focus here. So those are the schools that we currently have listed in our writing center on our dashboard. And you'll see that it's letting us know really quickly here when these deadlines are. And we can quickly hop into one of those other schools and get right back into our essays. You can also see at a glance when the deadline is here in this view. If we go back, the calendar view is perhaps one of the hidden gems of this platform. And you'll see here that it allows us to see when our deadlines are coming up. We also have the ability to see the analytics related to our activity on the platform here. And you can see that I've gone on a 3-day streak here, what peak hours and favorite days I have as a user, provide some insights. So we would love for you to join us in the private free beta. We have 20 spots currently. You can also sign up and join us if you go back to expand this, the landing page here. You'll be able to create an account regardless of whether you get into the beta program or not and land one of those 20 free spots for the application cycle. But you can see our pricing here as well. We're pretty transparent about it and what it delivers. We're also here to help and support. So feel free to email me. My name is Peter. I'm the founder. You can learn more about us on our team page and on our homepage. But you can always email us at support@medschoolcopilot.com. We look forward to working with you, and we wish you luck in your application cycle.